Shall we go live?
Yeah, sure.
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 Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. I'm still making a build. it's taking so long. Okay, I think my build is done. Hey, Kalazor. Kalazor is here.
Hello.
Hello. It says go to bed, but it's 3 p.m. Let's see. Wait, is my mic? Oh yeah, my mic is turned on. That's great. Just a moment, eh? So what have you been doing, John?
What have I been doing?
Yeah.
Work. This shader toy sort. No, this shader thing. And playing Monster Hunter with you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
playing Gravity Rush 2. You
Gravity Rush
definitely
2.
have to play Gravity Rush. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a PlayStation. Damn it.
Can borrow mine, huh?
Borrow yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Once I borrow from you,
Yeah.
right, you
Never see it again.
you never see it again.
Dude, all the non-Nintendo consoles that end up in your place, right? They all end up dead.
I wonder why.
It's the Nintendo aura in your
It's the
house.
Nintendo aura. Like the PlayStation 3 that I had did. The
How long did
PlayStation
it take
2,
before it died?
few months, couple of 4 months? 4 months?
My goodness.
I bought it from Weiwei, right?
Mhm.
And second hand. And one day it just refused to turn on. Yeah.
And your PS2?
My PS2 is not dead. It's the I bought it in the
Dying.
States, right? So the plug is the power plug is different from the one we use
So it's
here.
dead.
So I have to use a transformer, a power transformer, and for some reason the transformer always dies. Yeah,
So it's dead.
it's not dead. The PS2 I think is still alive.
Let's face it, it's a curse.
Yeah. Anyway,
Only Nintendo consoles can survive in your home.
yeah. Anyway, John, why don't you introduce yourself? Who are you?
Who am I? I am John. I am Chaikian's partner in crime sometimes. And I do random things like shaders and hardware stuff like Arduino stuff, and yeah, for fun.
You single-handedly ported the Space Jack from
To the
PC
Vita.
to the Vita and to the PS4, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Building on like
Yeah!
it would be a lot easier if we had used something like Unity or Game Maker, but no, we had to build it. Had to build it on Hex.
I still don't think Unity was a very viable choice when we first started, right? Because
Yeah.
we needed to get something up and running fast, right? Like we needed to test the gameplay. We're working without salary, right? So
Yeah.
we really don't want to spend the time learning an engine when we should be prototyping and testing out game ideas.
Yeah.
Would you say that's the case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But our choice of framework, Hexpixel, at the time, it was still very much in
New.
alpha beta phase.
Right.
So the stuff for porting to other systems was very much in flux.
Right.
So when they came up with the whole it took many years later before they actually got the
So
Vita
you
and
did
PS4
it
stuff
before
out.
them. You did it before them, right?
Yeah.
I think that's an achievement, John. I think that's an
But
achievement.
only like the stuff I did was very specific to Space Jack. Like we only managed to get if I had passed like the code that I had for the Vita and PS4 to someone else, they probably wouldn't have been able to use it for much.
Right, but it's not like we intend to reuse the thing, right? And we did one project with Hexpixel and that's it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
there are some jam
we did
titles.
jam titles.
Yeah,
with
that's true, John.
Which I should get around to porting to HTML5 sometime.
Sometime, eh? Oh yeah, you want to
One of our
preserve our
Flash
games, is
projects.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my Flash stuff is dead. I cannot even run it anymore. It's kind of waste. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. Or you can always. I think Animate supports exporting to HTML5, right? So maybe you can try. Who knows?
You mean including the code, the action script?
I'm not sure about that. I haven't tried it out, so I don't know.
Oh,
But you can try.
I can try. Yeah, maybe. Anyways, let me just put a note. John's presenting, right? Hang on, Now presenting. I spelled it wrongly. Now presenting John. So, what are we looking at?
What we looking at? So this was what we did last week, or what I showed last week, right? So your challenge to me was to do Wind Waker style C, the Wind Waker style C in Shader Toy, and this is not exactly Shader Toy because I wanted to use a texture, and Shader Toy doesn't allow me to upload my own texture. So I just did it on my own. I have this shader set up on my own. That works for me. It closely replicates. Well, it sort of resembles Shader Toy, so good enough. Basically, all of this thing that's being shown here is in a shader, in a fragment shader.
And this is being displayed in a canvas element, right? In the canvas.
Yeah,
I see.
Canvas element.
Okay.
So there are no vertices. The only vertices are the triangle that's being drawn. Like the triangle looks probably like this super big triangle.
Two triangles. Is that?
No, it's just one triangle.
One triangle?
It's one, but it's a very big triangle that covers the entire viewport.
So wait, what? Wait. Triangle?
Yeah.
You are drawing a quad, right? Are you not?
It's it's really a triangle. Like here, these are the vertices.
Oh, you're telling me that the graphics that you are showing now is drawn onto a triangle. What?
Yeah.
Oh. Wait. So sorry. Where does the canvas come in and where does the triangle come in?
Oh no, I mean like this part here is the canvas.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But what is being rendered through like in the vertex, what is being passed to the vertex shader is a triangle.
I see.
It's a really big triangle.
Oh, that exceeded the size of the canvas.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, because why send 6 vertices for 2 triangles? or if you want to do triangle strips 4, but why send 4 when you can send 3?
Well, is the clipping free? Like no performance hit?
Seems like it.
I mean, because one can make the argument that if you send 2 triangle over, maybe without any clipping whatsoever, maybe it's faster. I don't know. I'm just saying, but you know.
I think the amount of work the GPU has to do is roughly the same. You still have to check whether the clipping of the quad that you send or the two triangles that you send. You still have to try to clip them anyway.
You still have to try to clip them, but there's no early out.
Yeah.
There should be some early out, right?
There should be some early out.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Oh yeah, Amanda is up. Apparently she just woke up.
Yeah.
Look at that, waking up at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Waking up.
What?
Da.
Alright, John.
This
so
is the apocalypse. Oh, wow.
I have no idea what song that
Horrible
is. I have no idea what you're singing. Okay, why don't you go into some detail?
Right. So here we had so basically we started out with a texture and then we turned that into the Wind Waker waves, and I wanted to put a boat on it, and right now the boat is this cube-like thing.
Yeah.
And it's not nice, right? So it doesn't look like a boat. It looks like a piece of driftwood or something.
So that was last week's.
Yeah, so that was last week. So this week I'll try to make a boat. So here we go. So we started with a sphere. And then you put 2 spheres together. Well, you halve it.
And this is all done
using
ray matching.
Ray matching, yeah.
Okay.
You can see like boat 2. Boat
Okay.
2 looks like this. It's a boat. The boat center is at 0, 0, 0.
Sine
and we
distance
say take a
sphere.
sphere. Yeah.
Right.
find the distance to the sphere, and also like we slice off the top part of the sphere.
Ah.
We compare against y equals to 0. The sphere is centered around 0, 0, 0,
Uh-huh.
and we if your point is above y equals to 0, then we just take the distance to the plane as your to that y equals 0 plane as the
see.
distance to our shape.
I see.
Whatever shape we have.
Okay.
So now we have something that is starting to look like a boat,
Uh-huh.
maybe. And then we duplicate it, and then we duplicate it, and then we perform an intersection.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't do the intersection, if I do like a union, this is what happens when you have two half spheres, two hemispheres.
Yes.
Hemispheres, yeah.
But
then
you're
when
just
you take
rendering
the-
the intersections.
Yeah. So when you just take the intersection, you get this thing that looks like the outer hull of the boat, right?
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. Can I take a look at the implementation for unions and intersection? It seems like really short, yeah? It's the
Yeah.
minimum of D1, D2.
Yeah. Union, just take the two distances that you get, and then find the minimum.
Yeah.
And for intersection, you take the maximum distance.
Right.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this.
Yeah, I cannot wrap my head around it without a diagram.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, we can take a look at was it Jamie Wong's ray marking? I wonder if this is it. Or maybe not.
Like you have
Yeah,
seen
it
like
doesn't-
diagrams before, illustrating the.
I actually have not.
I see.
But I'm just gonna use this diagram.
Hmm.
So you want to find like the distance to let's say there are these two shapes here, right? You're gonna find the distance, the closest distance you have to the union of these two shapes. So in this case,
Sorry, which two shapes?
there's a rectangle here, right?
Uh-huh.
A rectangle here,
And the
and
triangle.
there's a triangle here,
Yeah.
and a plane, or we can call it that. So it's actually a union of three shapes, right? A plane, a rectangle, and a triangle.
Ah, yes.
And you want to find the closest distance. Let's say we're at point P0.
Uh-huh.
You want to find the closest distance from P0 to the shape, to the entire shape.
Okay.
Right. So you calculate your distance to the rectangle, you calculate your distance to the triangle, you calculate your distance to the plane, and
Yes.
to perform a union, you are taking the minimum of all the distances. Does that make sense?
Yes. But I'm not
Yeah.
quite sure why it's minimum.
Because the distance.
Oh, because you want to get the shortest distance to the
Yeah.
whole thing, the thing as a whole.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And if you were to perform a subtraction, well, not subtraction, but you want to find the intersection of the shapes. This one is a little harder to visualize. But I guess, I don't know, should I fire a GIMP? I think
if you feel
I'm
up for
gonna
it,
take my time.
if you feel up for it, if not, then we can just move to the
We'll
next
try,
topic.
we'll try.
Okay,
We'll try.
we'll try. Okay.
We'll try. Yeah, so like, if it's like two circles,
Mhm.
and this is your point here,
Yeah.
and you calculating like this, and you want like the
You will need to stop at that. Yeah. Right.
yeah, you want to stop at that point, and this is our intersection, right? So then you would take, like, at first you get this distance, right?
Yeah.
And you get, so okay, when you calculate the distance from point P0, you get two distances. You get
For
get
both
this.
circles, right?
yeah, for both circles, you get this and you get this, right? And so you want to take the maximum distance to find the intersection of the shapes,
Right.
because the nearest one doesn't work. You want the let me think. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah. It
kinda
makes sense. It makes sense because you have two distances, and according to this diagram, to get the intersection, you instead of getting the point on the right side, you want the one on the left, which is a longer distance, right?
Yeah, and for P1, it's the same thing, like the mirror image.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And if you like,
Amanda is
42
asking what we are calculating. So to set it up, John is explaining the math to get the shape of the boat, which is created from the intersection of two half
so
spheres. Right?
basically-
Yeah.
yeah, the intersection of two half spheres. So basically, here, the whole point of this whole thing that I'm doing, this challenge that I'm doing, sort of a challenge, is I'm trying to render a scene. If you haven't seen the
One from
original
last
scene,
week. Yeah.
yeah, this entire scene is done through mathematics. There are no there's no 3D modeling program involved, and generating a mesh, importing that mesh, and drawing the entire mesh out. This is entirely done through a pixel shader, a fragment shader, and which means that everything in this scene you see is basically a bunch of calculations, a bunch of mathematically defined shapes.
Yeah.
The wave, the sea, the plane is a mathematically defined shape. The box here is a mathematically defined shape. There's no vertices that I'm sending to the shader.
Which makes this so fun to talk about, right?
Yeah. All the mathematics, some that I can't even get around.
Right.
Get my head around.
It's okay.
Anyway, so yeah,
you still get
back
it.
here.
Yeah.
So back here. So from what did I do? Oh, boat 2. This is boat 2, boat 3. Yeah. So from Union. Oh, did I break something?
Did you?
Did I break? Okay. So from the Union to an intersection.
Oh, with a union, you get a butt.
Yeah. With a union, you get a butt.
Yeah.
Union.
Union. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but it still doesn't really look like a boat because you need the inner portion, right?
So you did a subtraction.
Yeah, so you do a subtraction. So
how do you get a smaller version of that?
Ta-da!
Avocado.
So basically, avocado. Sure. So basically, what you do is similar. I define a smaller boat, right? And I just take the subtraction of that smaller boat from the bigger boat. Yeah, and that gives you
That's impressive. That gets you your avocado.
Yeah, I mean you could do a union. You'd see that it looks something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then perform the subtraction and ta-da!
Very nice, John. Very nice.
Let's do unions on everything. Let's see what happens.
Oh no!
Butts on a butt.
Butts on the butt.
Although you can't see the bottom butt.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that Cyanide and Happiness sketch. The guy who had a very comfy butt.
Oh yeah, sitting everywhere, right? Yeah. Why don't you get the subtraction of the butt on the butt? Wait, like we want the shape of the butt inside the bigger butt. Oh, there we go. That's what happens if you sit in the sand, right?
I guess yes. I guess it is.
This it's almost as if there's some kind of an optical illusion that makes it look like it's protruding out.
Yeah, there is a bit of that. I blame the shading and blame the staticness of it. The shading is a bit weird. The shading is a bit weird.
Is this fault?
I feel like it's. Yes.
Yes.
Probably, maybe. Who knows?
Right.
I don't know.
It's just diffuse light and diffuse material.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's that. So So then you take the boat and you put it in the scene. You put it in the scene. Take the boat, put it in the scene.
Yes.
Put it in the scene. Supposed to be, ta-da! But no, ta-da!
Look at that. It does come across as the, how do I put it? The subtraction portion doesn't seem to be placed very well. Like it's not centralized in the.
I don't
In the
know
wood.
why. I cry every time.
Wait, it's not a matter of just like translating it.
It was supposed to be centered.
Oh,
It was, but I don't know why it looks like that.
or maybe it's just the
maybe
perspective.
the
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my code is doing some kind of a fish eye thing.
Oh, I see.
So towards the side, it gets a bit more,
Fatter.
distorted.
Right.
Computer's dying. I need to
Interesting.
make it smaller.
Okay.
We put it front and center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I did a few more things apart from that.
Yeah.
So apart from putting the boat in, I did a little bit of distortion of the waves
I see it.
around the boat.
Hmm.
Yeah. Does it make it look like it's actually more like moving than before?
It does. I quite like it. I imagine you are. Wait. You definitely have some sine wave involved, right?
yeah.
Can you talk
There
about it?
Okay, sure. I was working on this last night, so
Right.
it was a lot of random number punching into the thing, so I can't really explain it all.
Hmm.
But basically, when there was this other problem that I had. I have to talk about in a bit. But yeah, first let's talk about the wave distortion thing. So basically, previously I was just doing this. I was just doing return wave texture pause.xz.
Right. So you added some kind of an offset that is informed by the sine wave.
Yeah. So then so I did this return wave texture wave UV, right?
Uh-huh.
So like I take the original pause xz. I do a little bit of sine based on the distance of the point on the sea to the center of the boat, and then I do a little bit of dot products and stuff to figure out whether it's the back of the boat and what angle it is from the back of the boat. Yeah. So then I don't distort it too much once it gets further away from the boat. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Further to the sides and further back. And so this gives me like this little wobbly thing around the boat. It's actually messed up on the left side, but since you can't really see the left side, it's fine.
Right. What's flat displacement again?
The flat displacement is just how far it is left and right from the center of the boat.
Understood. Okay. Basically just the Euclidean distance, so it forms a circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the flat displacement is just the horizontal axis.
Just the horizontal
So if your boat
axis.
is, yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry. The flat displacement is the vector from the point on the sea to the center of the boat. Yes,
Right.
You're correct. It's the point. It's a vector.
Okay.
And
then why is this one just the x only?
this part I'm getting the sine of the x because
Oh,
I'm assuming that your boat is centered at 0,0.
Ah, so you're
and
just
then- so I can
moving. How do I put it? Wait, you're at 0,0. Oh, so that means you can easily find whether the current point you're rendering is on the left or right side of the boat.
Yeah,
I see.
because I just like I take the point that you're on and then I subtract it from where the boat is.
Right.
So that will give me a point that's sort of centered. Relative to the center of the boat.
I see.
Yeah, and so like x is negative or not is tells me left or right of the boat. And then I do a little cosine thingy based on distance, based on like whether it's the back or not. Because if I don't do this back thing, it will probably modify. Hang on. If I change it to 1, it will probably modify all parts of the thing.
Right. Is smooth step? Is smooth step some kind of a interpolation function? I forgot what it is really.
Right. So remember the step function. Let me just go.
So is the step function some kind of a discretization function thingy.
Yeah. So this is how the step function works. You say like at some point maybe 0.5,
Hmm.
0.5. You say, oh, my function goes from
They just give you a horizontal line.
0. Yeah, and then like over here it goes like,
Right. Which explains the name, lah. Right.
yeah, it's a
Step function. Right.
This is a 1.
Hmm.
The smooth step function, smooth step goes. It will. You tell it 2 points where
Yeah.
you start, where you end. Let's say we start and end at 1.
Yeah.
Start at 0 and at 1, right?
Yeah.
The smooth step will go something like is it a linear one or something? Let me. There's this website called.
It's not
DocGL.
linear, right? Is it?
Oh yeah,
Because linear wouldn't appear very smooth, right?
That's right. The smooth step, smooth air meet interpolation between zero.
Whatever that is.
I imagine, I imagine it's something like this.
I see. Oh, like ease
Zero all the way here.
ease in to ease out. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how smooth step works. So
Amazing.
because I don't want the changes to be too abrupt,
Hmm.
so that's why I use the smooth step to kind of make the curly whirlies not end too abruptly.
I see.
So if you look at the side of the boat, it kind of curls around the boat, so it looks okay-ish. It's not perfect. It's not great. It looks okay.
Okay-ish. I think that's
works.
fine. Yeah. I think this is perfectly usable in the actual game.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll steal it from you.
And then like if you look down the center line of the boat, right,
Yeah.
behind the boat, you see that the waves sometimes look a little there's a little bit of a disjoint when the texture forms out. It looks a little disjoint.
Where? Which part of the boat?
If you look at the center of the boat down
Yeah.
towards the back,
Uh-huh.
when the waves join up,
Uh.
you can see that there's a little bit of a discontinuity.
Oh yeah, I see it.
If you look right
Yeah.
at the butt of the boat, right?
Yeah, I see it.
And that's because I do this little sign. I check whether it's left or right, and then I distort it accordingly.
Right.
I could do it without. I could do it if I were to just do like I could do it without, but then on the left side of the boat, you'll see that it doesn't really look like the water is
Move.
It's-
Oh.
flowing around it.
Right.
So I gave up that I gave up. I would rather choose to have a little bit of discontinuity at the butt of the boat,
Hmm.
just to have a little bit of curls, like have the wave curling a bit properly on the left side.
Yeah, understandable.
Still looks a little weird, but it's okay. I mean, okay.
I like it.
And then the final touch.
Yeah,
throw a
this
bit of
one
noise
is
at
it
the
the
back.
additional texture?
It is noise actually.
Oh wow.
I do a step, and you can see over here.
Right.
Thing.
So you only render anything below or above a certain value, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's impressive.
Yeah, I put some noise and I put a step function around that noise.
Hmm.
If you were to see me do this without the step function, it would look pretty terrible.
Yeah. What kind of noise is it that allows for this kind of foamy look and texture?
What kind of noise is it? I am using classic 3D noise.
Oh, from a noise library.
Yeah, from Noise Library.
Oh, that's very cool.
But it's supposed to be your classic. If you were to use GLSL on the desktop, I think it would just be the normal noise function that GLSL provides.
Well, what
On the
exactly
web-
is a normal noise though? It's not like static noise, right?
I think it's just your typical static noise.
Typical static noise.
Actually, maybe not. Let's see. Let's check the.
I'm surprised. I mean, if it's a static noise means white noise, right?
Yeah,
If it is white noise, I'll be surprised how it can form chunks like that.
that is a good question. Okay, so this one says GLSL textureless classic 3D noise. Classic 3D noise.
I don't know what that is.
Maybe it is Berlin noise. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's Berlin. Ah.
I think we'll see.
But what we
The
know
step-
is that when you apply the step function on that, you do get like blobs
Yeah.
everywhere, which is nice.
Web PLC is classic noise. See, I don't know, like I don't even know like what functions I'm using.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I think they're using Perlin noise. Sorry.
Right. So
Sorry,
it's
messed that up.
is Perlin noise or either some kind of a variance of it?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably classic Perlin noise. So yeah, with Perlin noise you get nice blobs. Sorry, messed up at the start.
Hey,
Yeah,
no
it's
worries.
not. It's definitely not. Definitely not your white noise. Otherwise, it'd be
Right.
very chunky or very noisy.
Right.
Yeah. This. Yeah. So put some noise, do a step function over it, makes it look a little foamy around the back of the boat.
Hmm.
So I wanted to talk about one problem that I actually faced.
Yeah?
I fixed that last minute. So previously when I defined the boat, or rather when I defined the sea and the boat, previously I had I had this, and so you get like bits of the sea inside the boat.
Dude, that's
'cause-
cool.
right. Right. So,
Yeah.
so like my boat is sinking.
No, but it'll be. Is there some kind of an offset? Like, or is it at the exact same water level?
So the boat doesn't have the exact same level.
So
That's
you
another
have some
thing I
offset.
added.
Wow.
Yeah. So the boat actually bounces up and down a little.
Yeah.
Like if you compare it to say the original,
Mhm.
let's go back to the original. Yeah, if you compare it to the original. So this was the original.
Yeah.
And the boat, you can see that it always stays at the same level.
Yeah.
It doesn't bob according to the wave.
Yeah.
Right. So now what I did is I made it such that the boat actually sort of tips forward, tips backward. The what do you call it? The pitch of the boat? No, the roll of the boat. No,
Okay.
your pitch.
Pitch
roll,
is the
pitch.
forward. Wait, pitch is forward backwards, right? Roll is
Yeah,
side by.
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Roll
Yeah.
is the side, like barrel roll kind of.
What about the
Uh,
y-axis rotation? What's that?
Y-axis rotation. That's pitch. Sorry.
That's
Y-axis is forward. Hey, wait,
No.
sorry.
Y-axis. Y-axis. Meaning you turn from left to right.
Left to like yaw.
Yaw. That's yaw. Okay. Right. So it's pitch, right? Yeah, talking about pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now the boat actually varies its pitch.
Yeah.
Right.
Ah.
And the up down depth is also varied. It varies. Like I think I added like a sine function or something, or I took the previous. Where is it? Where is it? Boat center dot y base y. I feel like I did something, but I can't remember what.
Okay. That's fine.
But anyway, the boat kind of bobs up and down.
So it's bobbing up and down based on the change in the y position.
Let me. For some reason, it feels like it kind of disappeared.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe there isn't that chunk code.
Since you're talking about adding like additional
Sorry.
touch. Oh, you saying? Wait, go ahead.
Oh, I found it.
Found it? Okay.
Alright, so the boat doesn't. Okay, so the boat doesn't actually change its offset, like the y-axis, the y-axis offset. But what I do is I do change the pitch by adding a little bob. The bob is just a displacement based on the previous position, or maybe not the previous position, but I take a. Let me draw it up. So this is your C. It's green.
Yeah.
This is the boat.
Yeah. I see you drew a sail. So actually, Amanda has a question for you.
Yes.
She asked if If you're going to add a sail.
No. I'm so lazy. I don't work on this anymore.
I see.
I maybe in the future I will consider.
Understood. Understood.
Okay, so basically I'm taking like this is a purple color. So this is my boat. So the pitch, right? I determined by taking a vector to some point here, some point behind the boat, and then like if the wave is if behind the boat you're kind of like here, right? Then your pitch will become your boat will become this.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see.
Yeah, and then I don't want the pitch to always like be so constant, like always follow the sea, right? So I take an even further vector back, and use that as a additional value to compensate, so that the boat will tip like even further up by some factor because of how the wave was shaped previously.
Right.
So like the point that I took, the last point that I took, it will have shifted further back once the boat moves forward, right?
Right.
So then I'll use that whatever was at the previous location to shift the position of the boat so that it looks like there's some kind of momentum or inertia or whatever, keeping the boat in its previous orientation, if that makes sense, in its previous pitch.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
So that means like your boat is supposed to point up now, but previously it was pointing downwards. So there'll be like for a few frames it will still try to point downwards before it actually moves upwards. Does that
So
make sense?
it gives it more weight, right?
Yeah, give it a bit more weight. So it looks like there's a bit of it feels a little more realistic.
Can I look at the diagram again?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So instead of just changing the pitch based on the gradient of the curve, you added an additional condition. So can you explain the additional condition again?
Right. So I kind of blend your what is supposed to be your current pitch.
Yeah.
Like let's say we are at this point or at whatever. This is my current one, right?
Yeah, the red one.
This is the red one is my current. What my pitch is supposed to be based on the wave that I have. But previously it would have been, let's say maybe previously it was over here, right?
Yeah.
The boat would have been like really tipped. Really tipped to this side, right?
Yeah.
So when the boat gets to it shifts forward, you would expect the boat to kind of be on this point of the wave. Let's say we map this to here, right? The boat to be on this point of the wave, but it will still kind of maintain that tip.
Yeah.
Because the boat is traveling really fast, right?
Yeah.
But what we have is this. So I also take into account the previous
Okay.
your previous pitch.
Two
So
steps
it's kind of
before,
like a
okay.
blending, kind of like a blending of the pitches.
Right.
So that eventually your boat will, at this point at the top of crest of the wave, it will look like it has a bit of weight. It went forward a bit more, and then before it starts to actually go back to this shape.
Okay.
And then it'll go like down.
That's very cool. That's very cool. So by blending, you mean the average? What you average the pitch?
Not exactly average. It's I just use some factor for use some factor and added it into the boat displacement. But who cares?
Right.
If it looks fine, it looks fine.
John, can I trouble you for a moment? Right, I noticed my fan is like blowing into my mic, so it's causing like some noise. If you just give me a moment, let me just adjust my fan a little bit. Just a moment, yeah?
No.
Just a moment. I'm back. Hello.
Alright. So yeah, we were talking about the adding a little variation to the pitch of the boat.
Yes.
It's actually ideally I would take the pitch of the boat previously and then sort of blend it across. But what I'm actually doing is it's not in fact that I'm just like taking the previous Y position and and putting some factor of 0.15 to it.
Right,
and
right.
just adding it to the
So
boat.
so basically, good old trial and error.
Yeah, good try and
Yeah, that's
It
fine.
looks fine, so I'll just use it. Because if I do this, the boat will look like this.
If you do what?
If I change the
factor.
factor more, right, the boat
Yeah.
will like
Whoa!
whoa, that is not a boat, man. That is a
Whoa.
sinking ship. That is the Titanic right there. In
Look at that.
its final minutes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. This is very,
Yeah.
very cool.
So yeah, but anyway, what I wanted to show was you can see that the boat is taking in water,
Uh huh.
and it really is the Titanic in its last moments.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I had to do is I basically duplicated my code. It's not the best code. It looks really terrible.
Okay.
So what I do is with my boat, right, I have like in the inner sphere and the outer sphere, right?
Yeah.
Right. The inner sphere is the one that's subtracted out.
Yeah.
So I do that whole recalculation again over here, if that makes sense. Over
Okay. Okay.
To just basically calculate the inner sphere,
Right.
right?
Whatever
Just
for?
calculate the
Whatever
inner
for?
sphere. Whatever for. So that I can take my seafloor and subtract that inner sphere.
Right.
This is my seafloor. I haven't gotten round to why the arguments seem to be the opposite way. I'm
Okay.
taking my seafloor minus the boat, the inside of the boat.
Wait. Sorry. Why do you need? Why do you need to carve out the sea?
Why do I need to carve out the sea? Cause the boat doesn't stay at a constant Y level.
Right.
So I cannot just put like a plane inside the boat. I cannot just union a plane inside the boat.
Oh.
So then I'd have to make the Y level shift inside the boat shift, right?
Right. Right.
Does that make sense? Like if I were to, like sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here.
Right.
Then I have to constantly adjust, and then you'd see the boat floor rise up and down as the boat shifts up and down.
Right.
Doesn't
Right.
make
Right. Okay. Oh my god, there's
so yeah.
so much to take care of for something like this.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I did was, what the hell? What else can I do? I'll just take the sea floor, or the sea, the surface of the sea, and I'll just subtract the inside of the boat, just like how I did with the boat. And the boat itself is the outside of the boat minus the inside of the boat.
Right.
So I'll take the sea and also minus the inside of the boat.
Right.
Problem
Problem solved.
solved.
Problem solved.
At the expense of having to calculate the inside of the boat, the distance to the inside of the boat twice.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's still running okay. Right. It's not burning up your computer or anything.
I mean, it is right now, but when I don't stream it, it runs okay.
Yeah.
At its resolution.
Right.
At its resolution.
Understood. That's very cool. I love it.
So yeah, there's that. Next week,
Uh huh.
I don't know if I still want to do this.
You don't know if you still want to do this? Well, then it's time for
Oh.
a new experiment.
Yeah. Well, there was one thing I wanted to do, which
Mm-hmm.
is you know how in Wind Waker, as your boat is traveling,
Yeah.
you have this little wind trails, right, in the sky.
Wind trails in the sky. Yes.
Like
Yes.
these
Yes.
little
Yes.
white things that go like,
Yes.
right?
How would you do it?
I wanna do that.
Procedurally generated geometry? Would you do that? Or are you going to
What
do it in
procedurally generated geometry?
well, you're gonna do everything in fragments again.
Yeah, but I have no idea how to do it.
I think it's so much
Yeah.
easier if you just make the geometry. Oh, but then
No.
what would be the fun, right?
Yeah, what would be the fun in that? No.
You're crazy. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of I'll try to implement this, but I have no idea how. Because would I need to keep track of state of some stuff? Do I really want to do that? I don't know. Maybe I'll just ask you to imagine that it's there.
Well, I mean, Can you use a noise texture to define the path?
Maybe.
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 But it will look weird, right? It starts zigzagging and whatnot.
It'll look weird. But how do I even define this shape mathematically, right?
Right. Well, you go to Wolfram Alpha and start punching away.
Punching numbers in, yeah. And how do I render it? Do I render it as tube, this circular cylindrical tube? So like this. Maybe
Right.
I'll do that.
Why not just do it like a two-sided plane?
No, yeah,
A
maybe.
quad. Like create it out of like several quads.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Right. Because you can most certainly write the sine function for a quad, right? It's just a plane but with limits, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
I think maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
With
Yeah, then
edges.
do I do it after everything? After drawing everything? But if I do it after drawing everything, like then it will not be obscured by the boat. Like
You're
it
right.
cannot.
No,
it won't
but
appear behind
but
the
you
boat,
just elevate it, right? Just put it like really
in
high
the
up.
sky.
Yeah, in the sky. Yeah. Right.
I
Then
like your
then you
way
don't
of
have to.
thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Then you don't have to worry about occlusion.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
I like it when you're evil.
This is me at my most evil.
Do your evil laugh.
Oh, whatever. Anyways, anyways, I mean, it's not even like how do I put it? I mean, way back during NES Dev, people would do that, right? Like people would draw the background. The NES developer would just render the background once, and then they don't draw anything dynamic over it, so they don't have to worry about redrawing it.
That is true.
Yeah. So Kalazo asked, can this be done in GameMaker? Well, definitely, because what John has done is he's manipulated pixels individually, and since GameMaker supports shader, right, you can very much do the same. Right, John?
Slap the whole thing in a shader.
Yeah. In fact, I
fragment
think
shader.
you can copy what John has, right, and with a little bit of adjustment, you can have the exact same thing.
Yeah,
inside.
this is how the vertex shader looks like. That's all. There is.
That's all there is, yeah. Oh wait! I noticed you have some Pragma stuff. I don't know if it's supported. Like, is that? Do you think that's okay?
Well,
Yeah.
this Pragma stuff is not supported in GameMaker.
Right.
I'm using a tool called GLSLify.
Right.
GLSLify, which allows me to include library code into some library code, some external libraries into my own shader code. But if you don't have this, right, you
we just download
take
the file?
shader code. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just download the file, copy the code, and paste it in, like how I did it in the original
Shader toy.
steps. Yeah, originally, how it looked like was. Oh, where did it go?
You copy the functions and then paste it in here.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
I
I
see.
copied the entire noise file,
Ah.
which would look like modules.
But the Pragma is basically doing the
noise.
same thing, right? But for doing it for you automatically.
Yeah, doing it for you automatically.
I see.
So basically, what you do is just find the library WebGL noise.
Right.
Take this whole chunk, copy, paste, copy and paste.
Right.
And you're done.
I see.
Golden.
That's very cool. Kalazo has another question for you. He's asking like, what are you currently using? Are you using a game engine or whatnot? Like, can you explain the platform that you're using?
The platform that
For this demonstration.
it is just HTML.
It is
Same
just HTML.
HTML with JavaScript, with some helper functions. So I'm using this library called Reggle.js.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah. Well, what it does is it just wraps up the whole WebGL API. It makes it simple. It simplifies the WebGL API.
Oh.
So I can just call like draw a triangle, or I can pass in my shaders like this.
Right. So
I
it just
can
makes
pass in
it
the vertex attribute.
easier for you to do graphic stuff.
Yeah, it's just wrapper around WebGL that makes it easy to do graphic stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah, you could totally do this without Reggle. It's just a bit more work to set up WebGL and all that.
Right.
That I felt wasn't very.
You don't want
productive
to
do.
you don't want to use the time to figure out the API, right?
Yeah. I've done it on my own and it was painful. So no.
So you use this. That's nice. That's
And
very nice.
Other than that, it's just a plain HTML, JavaScript to pick the elements I need from the HTML file, which I don't really need a lot. All I needed was I needed to include my texture somewhere in there so that I can import it and put it into my shader.
Right.
And the code I have here right now is just this.
Oh, you can define
this
the
drawing code.
function for each frame, for each tick. Regular.frame.
You can, so this will be the callback that's called every frame, every tick.
What's up with that draw rect that doesn't do anything?
So like with Reggle, you define how your drawing function looks like first.
Right.
This doesn't execute anything. And then you can pass in parameters for each frame. You can pass in, like right now I don't have any parameters I need to pass in.
Right.
But technically I could pass in like eye resolution, eye time, and which texture to use through here.
Right.
Within these brackets. I
Right.
could pass it in either through here, or I could do it. I could define it here in Reggle. I can define it at the start.
Right.
There are multiple ways to pass in your shader uniforms to the subsystem, the drawing.
Right.
But I chose, since they are always more or less the same, I chose to do it right at the start and say, this is how it looks like. Reggle has some nice functions, like you can pass in. I can tell it, use whatever time attribute you have in Reggle and pass it to my shader uniform called eye time.
Right.
And Reggle does it automatically. It will update the time and then pass it in every frame.
Understood.
And when you change resolution, it will automatically pass in the viewport width and height.
Okay.
So I could do it here. I could grab the variables from Reggle over here and pass it in like eye resolution equals to.
You'll do the exact same thing.
You'll do the exact same thing.
Right.
But this was easier.
It looks
and
fun.
then the main chunk of work is actually in the shader, in the fragment shader.
Right.
So yes, you could do this in GameMaker. Why would you want to do something like this where you draw out the entire scene in shader? That is a question for another day.
If we do this in GameMaker and then try to export it for mobile, right, it will probably turn the mobile into some portable explosive.
Yeah.
Just run your app and then throw. You reckon it will be very intensive? It will like heat up the phone?
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah,
right?
probably heat up your phone really badly.
Yeah. So Colorzaur asked if you are doing it just for the sake of doing it. Obviously, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, because he can do it.
Because I can.
Because he can. Yeah. It's kind of like
For what purpose? Why would you do things for a purpose? Why?
Well, yeah. So this is legitimately a fun little hobby experiment thingy that John is working on.
Yeah. So that's that from me. Next week I'll do this.
Well, it's not like there isn't any purpose, because like a lot of the stuff you learn about geometry here, right? Eventually it can make its way into an actual game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I can already see I can steal like a few things from you.
Maybe.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I'll be curious to know how you will implement the wind trails.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea.
Amanda asked if your boat can fit both Jack and Rose. Doesn't look like it can fit anyone.
Hey, it's a matter of perspective, man.
It's a matter of perspective.
Yeah, it's a matter of perspective. Although with a boat that has no floor, right? It's like a butt cheek.
Oh, right.
There's no floor.
There's no floor, yeah.
It'd be like sitting in a, I don't know, in a bowl.
Yeah. But then this is the boat for you to chill, right? You just lay in there, stretch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the kind of boat that you You'd see in,
there's no flat ground in there for you to stand on. You can't stand. You can't stand on this boat. You can't stand in this boat. You cannot, right? Can
it's
you?
just yeah. You can't. This is probably the kind of boat that you find in a game like Getting Over It or something. I should make a a sea-based Getting Over It. And try
Yeah.
to-
Do you have any intention of releasing it to public? What you've done here?
maybe,
Maybe.
maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Kawazuha is
Maybe.
asking. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. It'll be a
yeah,
fun
yeah,
little
if
thing
I-
for people to see. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I figure out a way to generate the sea without having to use a texture, I could put it on Shader Toy and then everyone can see it.
Yeah. So that means you need an additional step where you procedurally generate the texture.
Yeah.
The challenge would be how do you make it tolerable, right?
yeah.
Well, actually, if
although-
you sorry, you're saying
Oh,
noise are already
noise-
periodic, right?
yeah. Some noise functions are periodic. So
Yeah.
so maybe there's that. But in fact, you don't even need it to be periodic, right?
You don't? Why is that?
Do you need to be periodic?
I thought
'Cause-
your C like stretches infinitely. So if it's not periodic,
Yeah.
how?
But if the noise function allows you to extend infinitely, right? I mean, it's just a mathematical
Oh, you're right.
calculation. Right? I just throw numbers in, I get some numbers out, and if it all looks fine.
Right. You're right.
So
You're right.
Maybe I can try that next week if I can't get my.
Yeah.
thing
Awesome.
here. Yeah.
Okay. Amanda asked when we are going to make the next Rotten Mage game. The truth of the matter is that we were really close at one point to start making another one, but we couldn't get what do we call that? We couldn't get financial backing for it. So the risk becomes really big, right? We don't want to risk spending like another year or two of our time working on something that would potentially not sell again. So
Yeah.
So until it's safe to do so, we would at least for the moment just be working on our own stuff, right? Eventually we'll come together and work on the game again, right? We actually have one project that we work together on called Martian Delivery.
Yeah. You want to show it?
I don't think I have it at the moment.
Do you have any pictures of it?
I have. Let me see if I can find
Yeah,
it.
show some pictures. While I draw little curly woolies.
Martian Delivery. Oh, but it's buried in my Twitter feed. Hang on. Yeah, Kawazuha say that we should like take a risk, mortgage our house to develop the next. We don't have houses to mortgage.
Yeah.
We are not at the age where we can buy our flag. Alright.
Yeah.
Not yet. Sorry, what was I going to search? Oh yeah.
Delivery. This is like starting to look like something that would freak the hell out of someone who has trypophobia. Trypophobia?
Yeah. How do you pronounce that?
I have no idea.
Ba, 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 ba.
The fear of dots. Lots
fear
of
of-
dots. Lots of holes.
I think I will show it next time. Right? I'm going to spend too much time looking for that screenshot.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So that's it. Yeah.
yeah.
My
that's it.
God,
Unless you like looking.
this is a 1 hour shader presentation, John. That's amazing.
Boring shaders.
It's not boring. I
Boring
think it's
shaders.
very fun. I think it's very fun. Okay. So is it my turn? You can stop drawing now.
No. Welcome to my art stream.
Okay. I closed it.
No. What did you do to my
Yeah.
art stream?
Oh, I stopped. Let me share my.
What did you do to my
Let
art
me
stream?
share my screen with you.
My art stream.
I don't have too much to show. I spent an unreasonable amount of time, right, just getting one small thing to work. Let me show you. Are you able to see my screen properly?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So my game is here. Apparently, there's a running gag now. When I stream, right, that I'm supposedly 39 years old, John.
You're
And
not?
since you're older than me, You must be 40 now.
No, no.
Anyways,
Talking about Jenny, I'm younger than you.
no.
I'm forever 18.
Yeah, quite a bit. Maybe half a year? No, more than half a year older. Is it? I don't know. Anyways,
More than half a year.
more than half a year. More than half a year. Anyway, John, I've been working on this thing. Take a look at this.
Oh,
So,
cool.
what do you think this is for?
Oh, nice. Is it to unlock the world?
Is it to unlock the world?
Is it, I mean, animation for unlocking a world.
No, it's part of the transitional animation when you go from one level to the next. So I've worked on this confetti animation. Let me show you. Is it pronounced confetti?
No,
Is that how you pronounce it? Confetti?
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 Confetti? I have no idea.
Is that how you pronounce it? I'm bad with
assume
words. Okay.
Confetti.
Confetti. Okay. Take a look at this. So there are, say, 6 collectibles, right? Look at this. 1, 2. Do you see that? This thing flying?
Yeah.
So-
oh wow! Look at the confetti.
Yeah, look at the confetti. So the thing is that was a problem at first, right? In that if you notice the very last collectible is really close to the door. And what happens prior to, like whatever I've shown you before, right? When you walk through the door, the level transition begins immediately.
Right.
So what do you think is the problem? Like maybe let me just like rewind a little bit. One thing I've added is when you collect the collectible, right, you see a number that appears on your head now.
Yeah.
And this is a continuation of the issue I had last week, right? I'm saying that I needed to make it clear to the player that collecting all the collectibles in a single run is an achievement, right? So that's why I'm counting it, and then when you collect the last one, right, I spray particles. And that is basically visual cues, visual feedback to the player that they are doing something right. So I don't want to just do it in the transitional in the progress screen anymore. I want to do it while they are playing the game, so it's even clearer, right? So like it's what I've decided upon after talking to you and Chow, right? So now the problem is that after collecting the final collectible and walking through the door, you essentially have no time to register all those particles coming out.
Yeah.
So it does not stick in your head. Oh wait, hang on, I'm presenting now, so I should type the notes in. Hang on. Now presenting. So yeah, you can't see it, but I have this text scroll here. So I'm updating it. So now it says I'm presenting. Now presenting Chini.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but it's manually updated. Anyways, where was I? Yeah. So the problem is that there isn't any time for the player to register the particles in their head. So what I had to do is additional transitional information. That takes like maybe 1 second or 2 seconds to animate, so you can see. Woo!
Nice.
So now it becomes clearer. You take a look at that. It looks like this now. 4, 5, 6, 7. Dang.
Nice.
Right. What do you think? What do you think?
I think it looks cool.
Think it looks cool?
Like it. Yeah.
And the number of orbs that flies out is dependent on how many you actually collected. Yeah.
Okay.
So I at the moment I don't think 2 looks very nice. So yeah. And if you play the game without collecting any, right, it looks even weirder. So like,
You gotta fix that.
I gotta fix that. Yeah. I definitely have to fix
but
that.
I guess like, if you didn't collect any,
It can just
then-
do the thing immediately, right? The transition.
yeah, you can just do the thing.
Yeah. So so a few things I still need to polish, definitely. But at the moment I'm fairly satisfied with this. Yeah, because I think now it's probably clearer, right? And not just that, it makes the gameplay experience a little bit more dynamic as well. Because you know you're making progress as you collect each of the collectibles. this also highlights to me that maybe I should go back and start rethinking the placement of collectibles in my level. Like maybe I can have more, so it feels better. But having more does make it a little bit harder to balance in terms of like unlocking of worlds and stuff like that. But yeah, these are all stuff that I will eventually have to work out. Yeah. It's not an easy thing.
Alternatively, I think maybe the amount of confetti that you would throw out when you complete a level with all the stars collected, right? Should be a lot more than if you did not complete with all the stars collected.
If you did not, wait. So like if you did not collect all of them, is it?
Yeah.
If you did not collect all of them, there's no confetti.
Oh, there's no confetti.
There's no confetti.
Okay.
There's no confetti. See.
Did not notice that.
If you do this, there's no confetti.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. So all the cues are not in yet, so this is purely visual, right? But eventually there's going to be some sound, so it's going to be more obvious as well. Right, so of course that means I need to work on the audio aspect of things as well, which is another thing that takes me a long time to do. So it's basically I'm basically at a point in development where everything is like almost everything is a polishing task, and polishing task takes a long time to implement. Yeah, I think some people do it really quickly though. Like, but for me, right, I'll be like, I do something, I think like, oh, it doesn't look as good, and I tweak it again, I run it again, I tweak it and run it, and I tweak it and run it, and then this process just takes forever. Yeah. Council says, would it look better if they all spawn at the same time rather than one after another like a spiral? I can try it out. Yeah. I think what he's saying is that there should be an extra for collecting all the gem thingies when you get to the door. Oh, is that what you're saying, John? Is that what you're suggesting? When I get to the door, if I collected everything, I should further highlight the fact that they basically collected all the collectibles in a single.
Yeah, that might help. Because like sometimes you collect all the confetti, you collect all the stars, and then you have confetti. Then when you get to the end,
there's nothing more to highlight that.
Yeah, there's nothing to highlight that. So like you could rain confetti down from the I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me just add another layer of effects on top of it. That sounds like a good idea.
I think just more confetti.
More confetti, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Calador. Yeah. Cool. Good idea, John. Yeah, good idea. So that's one. So that's the fun part that I worked on, right? So stuff like this is fun. Stuff like figuring out the procedural animation for this. I should also like give a shout out to Stefan, who made the Twin GMS, which is the twinning library that I'm using to do all of this stuff. Very lovely, very lovely library that I rely on a lot. I love it. Do you have like any twinning library that you yourself personally love?
I haven't used enough twinning libraries to.
Right, but we did use one for in Space Jack, right?
Green Sock.
Green Sock. Was it Green Sock? Was it Green Sock?
No, I think for Hex it was different. But for Flash, I think we use Green Sock.
Right.
And, yeah, apparently Green Sock is really powerful, really convenient, especially in the later versions. But I guess we never really.
Is it still like updated today? Green Sock, because Green Sock sounds like a really old library, right? Yeah. I wonder if it's still updated.
But yes, it is still updated for JavaScript now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I was following this guy called Chris Gannon. I think I showed you some of his.
Gannon?
Yeah, Chris
Gannon. Wow. Okay.
With two ends, like in the middle, two ends.
I see.
I think I showed you some of his UI stuff in a video once.
Oh, the bouncy stuff.
Yeah, the really bouncy.
Yeah. I've seen that. That's amazing.
And he uses Green Sock.
Wow.
His, JavaScript as animations.
Oh, that's cool. So he uses Green Sock. I see. That's very cool. Yeah, twinning is so important. Yeah. Anyways, the next thing I worked on is stuff that I've been putting off for a long time. So do you notice this?
Oh, the options.
Options menu, yeah. I cannot believe I forgot to add the options menu in the pre-alpha. Yeah, so when I realized that, right, I'm like, oh no, where should I put this button? This originally this collectible here, right, was at the top.
Right.
Right. So then I was like wondering if I should put this on the left side instead. But the problem would be that on in this screen, right, the label for the world number is on the left side. So then, what should I do? So I yeah, there's some issues here and there. Eventually, I just decided upon shifting the number below the options button. I think this is mostly fine. Like for especially for the world selection is fine. For the level selection, I don't really like that it's so cramped here, but I think it's better than putting it on the left side or putting it anywhere else because I want some consistency. Like, you know, you see this here, your eye level should at least be the same, right?
Or if you put a label in your world selection, like now you have World 4 here, right?
Yes.
If you were to put like a, I don't know, some kind of title at in the world selection, then you shift your
shift
the stars collected under that title, then it would also look consistent.
Really? I don't get it. Hang on. What do you mean? So you mean if I hang on, let me bring up Paint, and where is my tablet? Oh no, where's my tablet? Okay, I found my tablet. Where's my pen? There we go. So you're saying that that's the title, right?
Yeah.
This is the button. You're saying that I put this. If I put the
Stars collected.
The stars collected here, it'll be okay. But I was
you put it here, and then in your overworld screen, right?
Oh, I also put it here.
But you also give the overworld screen a title.
Oh, that's what you mean. I see.
Yeah. Then it will look consistent, but it will at the expense of you having a title at the screen.
Yeah, more stuff to translate as well. Well, actually, if it's not gameplay critical, I don't have to worry about translating it, right?
Yeah. It could be an icon or something. I don't know.
Could be an icon. More stuff to draw. Maybe. But yeah. Anyways, I have these two buttons. Someone requested that I have a mute button, so I do the usual, right? There's a mute all, right? So something like that, and then there's the mute background music. But I don't really like that this button appears so big, so I'm going to change it a little bit. Yeah, but can you tell their purpose?
Yeah.
You can, right? Okay, that's
well,
cool.
Yeah. I would imagine one is for sound effects rather than all, but I guess it also makes sense as all.
Yeah.
People will figure it out, I guess.
Yeah. I'm basically using the exact same format used in Serious Scramblers. Yeah, but this is just for display. They are not actually doing anything yet, which means I actually do have to go into... I have to do something about the save file, which... more work for reading the save file and writing to save file, I guess, because now I have to write an additional state.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. These are stuff that is part and parcel of development, but not the most fun thing to work on.
Yeah, painful to do, but necessary.
Yeah, necessary but painful. Yeah, exactly. That's the right word. Okay. I think that's all I have to talk about. What do you think I should work on next? Let me see. What I should work on next is... Let me bring out my Trello, yeah?
Finish the game.
Yeah, exactly. Finishing the game, right? But to finish the game, it involves like so many different things. So let's take a look. You know, maybe it's time for me to put out World 7. Right? I have actually added the new mechanic, which is the patrolling type enemy, right? So I can have World 7 be focused on patrolling type enemies. I also have the add integration, which I eventually have to do. Yeah, I'm halfway through with add integration, so I have to do it. I think that's about it. Yeah, I feel like I'm at a point where everything I have to talk about in this game, right, are the stuff that isn't related to mechanics anymore. It's more about stuff relating to finishing the project, right? Or doing monetization and whatnot. So that's that. Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, I think that's it. Shall we?
Mm.
Hang on, eh?
Recap.
Now
so I showed off
recapping.
more of my Wind Waker C in a pixel shader thing, and next week I will try to draw a little bit wind wavy things, and see if I can generate the sea without having to use a texture. And then if that goes well, then I can put it up on Shader and everyone
Yeah.
can see the source code, the shitty, the crappy source code.
Doesn't matter. If it looks beautiful, it's beautiful. What do you not like about your code anyway? Is it because it's not like performance efficient?
Yeah, it's not performance. It has terrible performance, and there are a lot of magic numbers everywhere,
Oh!
and a lot of random
That's-
code that.
I mean, I have magic numbers everywhere in my code, and it's supposed to be a commercial game. But only for non-gameplay critical stuff. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, it works. So
It works. Yeah.
it works. Ship it.
Ship it. Okay. So that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. In my case, I will probably put up. I will try to finalize the next world, World 7. Yeah, and which would put me closer towards finishing the 99 levels that I want for the game before I released it. Yeah. How's that? I mean, I'm aiming to release the game. I'm thinking August now. It's getting later and later. I'm aiming for August release. So, then I'm planning to have like updates for the subsequent months, like maybe 2 updates. Yeah, hopefully that will work. Okay. That's it. What we can do now is, I think we'll end it here. But as we end, right, we'll rate Minoru, right? CT Fun. He's working on some art stuff now, right? Texturing. City Fan. Yeah. So thanks everyone for hanging around. Thanks everyone. We will be doing this again next week. Sunday GMT plus 8, 3 p.m. Chow cannot join us today because he needs time to recover. Yeah, so we wish him a quick recovery. Yeah, all the best. Yeah, and we'll see. And whenever he feels better, he'll be back in the chat. Yeah. Okay, thanks everyone. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to run the outro, and then we will rate Minoru CT Fun. What?
99 more levels in my to-do list. 99 more levels.
Alright, bye everyone. Bye everyone.
And then one level should be added to the list. There'll be 100 levels in my to-do list.
Right. Okay, we are ready.